Some stories don't have a logical beginning, and that's exactly what makes them worth telling. This one is about a tiny white kitten who appeared out of nowhere, won over a self-proclaimed dog guy, and became proof that sometimes the universe just knows better than you do.
Hey, bud.
His name is Lilo, and nobody, not even the people who love him most, has any idea where he came from. Tanya and Adam were living in Mexico when they got a chance to see that the cat distribution system really existed. One ordinary day, on their beachside property, there was suddenly a kitten. A tiny, frail, about 6-week-old white kitten, so small he was visibly being pushed around by the coastal breeze. No carrier, no note, no concerned neighbor rushing over to claim him. Just a very small cat, very much alone, and somehow very much exactly where he was supposed to be. What makes the whole thing almost eerie, in the best possible way, is the sand. When you live on a beach, the ground keeps records. Every creature that passes through leaves its signature behind. So Adam and Tanya went back to look around. Lilo was tiny, but he wasn't weightless, and they searched for tracks, for some trail of tiny paw prints leading from somewhere to their doorstep. There was nothing. No trace of a journey, no evidence of a starting point. It was as if Lilo had simply materialized, as if the universe had looked at this couple, considered their situation carefully, and made a quiet executive decision to drop him there without a return address. Of course, the universe's timing wasn't exactly gentle. The little guy was in rough shape. A trip to the vet quickly confirmed what he looked like on the outside was only part of the story. He was full of fleas, parasites, and worms. Without intervention, Lilo didn't stand much chance to survive. He arrived at what was essentially the final possible moment anyone could have helped him. So they helped him. They got him food, water, veterinary care, and something that turns out to be just as important: love and attention. And Lilo, for his part, responded the way any reasonable creature does when shown genuine kindness for the first time. He decided these were his people now, and that was that. He became their shadow. Wherever they went on the beach, he went. Whatever they were doing, he was involved. He didn't ask permission. He just showed up, which, when you think about it, was already his signature move. Now, here's where the story takes a turn that Adam probably still hasn't fully come to terms with. He was not, by his own admission, a cat person. At the time Lilo appeared, Adam was actively volunteering at an animal shelter. Not because he was hoping to find a cat, but because he was looking for a dog. He was a dog guy on the verge of becoming a dog owner. And then Lilo showed up and decided to prove he could play the role of a dog. When Adam went out for a run, Lilo ran with him. Not a few hesitant steps, not a brief trot before losing interest. He kept up. This was not standard cat behavior. Lilo had clearly not been given the memo about how cats are supposed to act, and he has shown absolutely no interest in reading it since. Lilo became the furry companion Adam wanted. He became his dad's adventure buddy, running partner, curious explorer who needs to sniff, examine, and personally investigate every single thing in his environment. This cat has the energy and enthusiasm of a golden retriever in a much more compact and aerodynamic package. He is, as Tanya puts it, like a small child who needs to see, smell, and touch everything. What's beautiful about watching Lilo now is seeing how completely he has settled into his life and into the rhythms of the people around him. He has figured out exactly who everyone is and what they're for. Adam is for playtime, exploration, movement, the thrill of whatever is happening next. Tanya is for something equally important: the quiet moments, the cuddles, the deep exhale at the end of the day. Lilo moves between both worlds with the confidence of someone who has thought this arrangement through and is very pleased with how it turned out. After a couple of months in Mexico, the time came to head back to the States. And the question of what to do about Lilo wasn't really a question. They both already knew the answer before either of them said it out loud. Lilo came with them. Of course he did, he was family by then. Tanya summed it up with the kind of clarity that only comes after you've stopped fighting the obvious. They had wanted to add a dog to their life. What they got instead was so much better. It was 2 in 1. The loyalty and adventure-seeking spirit of a dog, wrapped up in a small white cat who somehow found them in the middle of a Mexican beach with no footprints to explain how he got there. To this day, Adam and Tanya have no idea where Lilo came from. There is no satisfying answer to the question of how a 6-week-old kitten ended up on their sand, with nowhere to come from and nowhere to go but into their lives. It makes 0 sense, and at the same time, it makes perfect sense, which is usually the case with the best things in life. Lilo went from a frail, wind-blown kitten on a Mexican beach to a cherished, thriving member of a family who can't quite imagine things without him anymore. He is, by all means, a deeply happy cat, and it shows. In the way he bolts toward the door when adventure calls, in the way he melts into a cuddle like he was built for it. He is equal parts fearless explorer and world-class snuggler, and he has somehow managed to make both identities work perfectly within the same small, white, endlessly curious body. The ultimate adventurist in training. The perfect cuddle buddy already fully certified. Lilo flourished, and he did it with the kind of enthusiasm that makes everyone around him a little more alive too.